Kia ora everyone, finally we have some LEGO Batman Arkham news here. I actually forgot that this was releasing this year. The funds are pretty tight as is. Let's not mess around here, let's just get right into it. All the info here is coming from a.clay.brick on Instagram, and as this is a rumor based video, please keep in mind that the information discussed today, it's all subject to change at any given time. It's up to LEGO really. So LEGO DC set 76300 Arkham Asylum, the set info here first and then the minifigures. This is going to be releasing in September of 2025, September 9 to be specific, so that's just in a few months. Better start saving up now. 2,953 pieces in total, the price there is 300 USD before tax, so here in NZD I'm thinking it'll be between 500 to 530 NZD. It seems to match other sets releasing around that same US price point like the Slave 1 that came out. I really need to start saving up now then. And also the piece counts there seem to match too, but the minifigures, 2 figures in that set versus 16 in total for this one. The list so far includes Batman, Robin, Damian Wayne variant, Batwoman, Batwing, the Joker, Harley Quinn, Bane, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, the Penguin, the Riddler, Killer Croc, and 2 Arkham Asylum guards. We do not yet have any images of these figures and we don't have an idea on what appearance they're all going for. I said in my original video that I desperately wanted this to be based on the Rocksteady games. That obviously was never going to happen, that was just me hoping, but I have a little bit of info for a couple of the figures here. Again, they're all just rumors though at this stage. The Batman minifigure appears to be in a gunmetal grey armor featuring a blue bat symbol and blue eyes in the cowl. Now I can't share a photo here, but honestly it looks almost the exact same as the Val Kilmer one that's releasing in the Batman Forever Batmobile. Almost the exact same figure, I swear, just a couple of slight torso changes. And people were very quick to ask in the comments there if the figures are all going to be appearing as classic appearances or are they all going to be wearing orange jumpsuits. a.clay.brick actually specifies in those comments that only some of these figures will be wearing orange jumpsuits. They list Ivy specifically, and then some of the people in the comments also said that Killer Croc is as well, but you know, there's nothing that's really verifying any of this. But later they also confirmed that not all figures would be wearing those jumpsuits, as Mr. Freeze is apparently a repeat minifig. He's likely a repeat from set 76301, which makes sense to me. It's a junior set and all, that figure might be cheap for them to reprint. There is currently still the animated series 1 available though in the animated Batmobile. Oh, I swear to god, if LEGO release a set that has mixed media minifigures, So my quick thoughts on these figures then, it feels really whiny to say a little disappointing, especially when there's 16 minifigures here, and I do honestly love the amount that's there and I love what I'm hearing, but only one brand new minifigure at this stage, that is really disappointing. I had so many comments on my last video, too many really, of people saying how desperately they wanted to see some brand new characters. You know, people like Mad Hatter or a minifigure of Clayface, new characters in general that only the adult audience would want. As this is an adult only release, it's rather lackluster that the roster is primarily focused on characters that most of the adult collectors already have. And I don't really think there's a point in arguing that it's for people who missed out on previous Batman sets, because who wants to spend 300 USD on one set with 16 minifigs? The hope from this, for me at least, is that this leads to some future DC sets like playsets available for the masses later on. As for the minifigures themselves though, at the very least, it's a pretty great lineup of a rogues gallery of enemies for the Bat family to face. You don't seem to be missing too many people there, like a Two-Face would have been cool, but I'm not going to be too picky there. The Damian figure is interesting, I'm going to assume Little Legs then. There's no word on which Batwoman it's going to be, but it could be someone new, and that could be really exciting. And this is interesting, Batwing is the next figure included there, and most of the comments seem to be people asking, did you mean Nightwing? That's how fresh that character seems to be, despite being around since the 2010s. I had no clue who this guy was until these figure leaks, so I had to do some research. One of the Batwing alter egos listed is Lucius Fox's son. That's pretty cool. For those who know comics, maybe that'll give you a better indicator for who that Batwoman could be. We then have Joker and Harley, of course. I'm really hoping we see some brand new designs for these two. Catwoman is also a nice nod there. I'm actually hoping it is something similar to that 2019 one that was also shown in the DC Villains game. It's because I missed that Batcave set and I've regretted it ever since. Mr. Freeze we've already covered and it should likely be this figure. Sounds pretty good to me. The Penguin, of course. I recently looked at the 60s Batcave and the purple top hat version of the Penguin is the best way to depict a comics version if you ask me. And then Poison Ivy we also briefly talked about, supposedly appearing in an orange jumpsuit. I'd love to see Ivy with a green skin, which we haven't seen in sets before. The Riddler here could be very cool as well. I'm hoping we see something really special for his hat or his cane or something to make him just stand out a bit more. That LEGO Batman movie version of the Riddler is the best one that I've ever seen. Scarecrow is also interesting. The one from the Harvester set I think is the best one there, so I'm very interested to see if LEGO can top that one. Bane and Killer Croc I'm also really excited to see. This will be another Marvel's The Thing issue where half the community is going to be thrilled to have minifigs, the other half is going to be really angry to not see big figs. All three of those characters are amazing examples to me of LEGO desperately needing to introduce a brand new medium-scaled minifig body mold that's in between minifigures to big figs. Can't wait to see the two of them. Maybe they'll be minifigures that feature bulky parts like hands and headpieces or something, just like the Thing. And then finally you have two security guards. Honestly, you can't go wrong there. I guess I'm a little bummed that they're not going to be named characters. I did want to see Gordon or Cash there, but some new licensed guard torsos will be very cool for my collection. So far, the only word that you have on the build is that it's said to be built on a base plate at this point, with some possible modular connections. The Marvel modular sets have been both a blessing and a curse for me with collecting. Some of those sets are amazing, and some of them are just, to put things nicely, not for me. If DC start also releasing some modular sets, I want to be able to say that I'll be there for them, but at this rate, with the cost of things and some storage issues, I don't really know. A Daily Planet though? Jeez, I'm there day one, man. Honest to God, I'll be there day one. Now in comparison to the previous Arkham releases, this thing is massive. Those others were all playscale releases. The original one there was always a favourite of mine, releasing with Batman and Nightwing along with a couple of guards, and the villains there being the Riddler, Ivy and Scarecrow. Easy stuff. All of those builds there were separate and it felt like a similar design to what we would see from Rocksteady. The next one released was when the DC line was revived, an awesome playset that was large scale too, but wasn't quite featured in the adult line yet. The most notable figures there in my eyes were the figures of Dr. Harleen Quinzel, the Joker and Scarecrow. They were all the exclusives here, with the Joker appearing in the orange jumpsuit. The last great Arkham there was the LEGO Batman movie-based release, which I think people really like, but there were a couple of issues there, like the crammed interior space. You can see there from this image just how limited this thing looks overall, and the fact that every villain there was featured wearing an orange jumpsuit. This is why I think people are concerned for these new figures. Now this was accepted at the time because all of these villain minifigures, they all appeared in other cheaper releases, but because the LEGO DC line has been practically on life support this decade, people want some classic looks for these upcoming figures. I do hope though that that would mean that the general consumers would have their chance at some point for some of these figures in future releases. I am very excited to see what this thing looks like. I'm very excited to see these minifigures and just to have that reveal happen and to ultimately decide if this is going to be the set for me. There is still a fair bit releasing this year that we have to cover, and I might need to start marking stuff down on the calendar. So what are your thoughts for the news here? Are you excited for the LEGO Arkham Asylum set, or are you also disappointed with this figure roster? You should let me know down below. Liking and subscribing to this channel helps to fund the purchase of the LEGO Arkham Asylum set. Ka kite ana everyone, take care, and I hope to see you all next time.